Micki Pistorius, an acclaimed author, no longer profiles serial killers. Once an investigative psychologist, she trained more than 300 detectives. Today she works as a consulting psychologist. She is also author of the book Heroes and Warriors, Men's Perspective on Relationships, a fascinating subject for both men and women. Well, she joins me now in the studio. Welcome, great to have you with us.
Thanks,
Fascinating topics, from serial killers to understanding men, which in my opinion is one of the greatest mysteries in life. So just tell us a little bit about your journey, why the shift to begin with, and how did the profiling serial killers, why did that interest you at first?
I was studying psychology and I was doing a project on serial killers, and then the police needed a profiler and I was appointed, and it was by accident.
Sure, so that was just one branch of psychology that you were interested in at the time?
Yeah. I actually liked Bambi, so why I ended up doing serial killers, I don't know. But luckily that was 17 years ago, so now it changed.
It's a fascinating subject because I also have a bit of an interest in psychology, and the first thing that I would want to delve into is the dark psychosis of existence, which is the serial killers, to really understand what makes them tick. So it's fascinating. I'm sure that journey has shaped you in a new way, understanding that. How has that changed you as a person?
I think that it gave me an insight into men, that was the really bad men.
Yeah.
And which changed to what the book about is your everyday regular guy that you and I date.
Yeah.
And I think they found us as fascinating and as mysterious as we find them. And that's why I wrote the book.
Okay, so you're talking about the heroes and villains book. What would you say, because you're a woman, I'm a woman, was the greatest discovery you made when working with men, trying to understand their motivation for relationships? What did you stumble upon that actually was, let's say, a light bulb moment even for you, that shifted your own perception about men?
I realized, well, first of all, we know men and women think differently. Okay.
Do they now?
They do. And then what I realized is, but men also think differently than what women think they think.
Sure.
And they sometimes explain it to us, or they just tell us, but we think, no, you can't think like that. And we don't believe them, and then we carry on the way we think they think. And that's where a lot of miscommunication comes in.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you know, there's a general conditioning that men are simple and women are complex. What would you say about that?
No, they are as complex. And we can also say women are, I suppose, emotional or more emotional sometimes, but men are oversensitive sometimes as well when it comes to ego or so. Not that they shouldn't have ego, they should have ego. Okay. But I'll give you an example why I say they think differently. Let's just take 3 little 8-year-old girls. They will ask each other, so how's your wedding dress going to look like one day? You know, we all fantasize about that. Then you will never get 3 8-year-old boys asking each other, so how's your wedding suit going to look?
Yeah.
No. Okay. So for men, when they get married, it is a financial decision, not a love decision. Of course, they love the woman they want to get married to, but can he financially afford her? It's a financial decision that he makes. So sometimes we might get that it's the right woman, but it's the wrong time, and then it's not going to happen. While
so
a woman will drop everything, a woman will drop everything for the man will not. If it's not the right time, even if it's the right woman, it's not going to happen. And if she persists, she'll lose him.
Sure.
That's a different way of thinking.
You know, it's definitely different.
Very.
Yeah. What would you say around men's interest in getting involved in steady relationships with women? I mean, is that something that is important to men in general, to have a steady relationship?
It's not as important to them as it is to the woman. To them, launching their career, a man has a quest, you know, and in the book that's the one with the little wings. A man has a quest that he goes on. That is important to him. The woman has to support the quest or align in with the quest. And to him to be successful in his life, in his quest, is much more important than eventually having a relationship. To her, it's more important. The quest will be the way that he supports her. I always say men are heroes. They're born to provide and to protect. And that is the means by which they will provide and protect, which is very, very important to them. So there's another essential difference, you know, between the men and the women.
What about when it comes to companionship and intimacy, what are the general feelings coming through from some of the men that you've worked with as a consulting psychologist? Because I know intimacy to a woman is important, companionship and friendship to a woman is important, but how does that feature in a man's mind?
It is important to a man, but it's not necessary to say that he would see that as a committed relationship. Okay. So this is interesting. Women often ask me, why do men cheat so much in the relationship? And then I answer, because we have different concepts of relationship. Okay. I'll give you an example. I said there was a young guy, about 28 or so, and he said, I've been seeing this woman. And I said, yeah, do you like her? Yeah, I like her. I said, have you seen her often? Yeah. I said, do you see other women? No, I don't.
Okay.
I said, have you introduced her to your parents? Yes. To your friends? Yes. I said, do you just take her out, or does she come over? No, she comes over. I said, well, do you have an intimate relationship? Yes, he says. I said, then you are in a relationship with her. He said, no, we just know each other.
Really?
We're just getting to know each other. So after 3 months, to him, it's not to her, it's an intimate one-on-one relationship going somewhere. To him, it's not. We're just hanging out. We're just getting to know each other. It's not no future, no nothing. It's just
3 months is a long time just to hang out intimately with someone.
to a woman, yeah.
Yeah,
See?
I mean, like,
Now-
again, from a woman's perspective,
Yes,
I would say
exactly.
that's a
now,
long time.
Now, if he dates somebody else or sees somebody else, she would say, but you're cheating me. And he said, but we're not in a relationship.
I'm glad you brought that up. What is a man's idea of cheating now that you've mentioned that?
They have different ideas of cheating. To men, it's usually physical. If
Yeah.
there's a physical, then it might be cheating. But they don't consider that really as a threat to the relationship. It depends. Although I must say, you get very mature men, okay, which is a development of your prefrontal cortex, which I'm not going to go into in detail now. We don't have enough time. But once that part of your brain is really, really well developed and matured, then he will not cheat her, because he understands
That is very
how
interesting.
the pain that she will feel, the emotional pain, and he understands it on an emotional level, not just an intellectual. So he might have cheated other people, but he won't cheat her.
Okay, so that's very interesting, because I'm thinking invest in a brain scanner so that we can check the level of maturity.
Now, I'm talking to people. I want the MRI scan that
Yeah.
you've got in your hand, and when you meet the guy, you can just sort of zone over his
that would
head
be
and
awesome.
just read it on your
Just
cell
do
phone
that.
or something.
Okay, no.
That's it, and we can see the prefrontal develop. That would make us rich.
Hi, would you like to go out on a date?
Bzzzt. Nah.
Don't call me, I'll call you.
Oh, I won't.
I like that, but
I like that too.
So the development of the brain, his
Very much.
experience, all of that plays
Yeah.
a role.
Very,
How
very
can
much.
this book really assist men and women in understanding each other better and in relationships?
Now, Sheena, the book originated out of my practice when I talk to men. And I was really listening to them, and I said, oh, women should actually know this. And then I said, maybe I should write a book. And then they all said, write the book. Please write the book. Please put this in your book. Please put this in your book. Just get the women to read your book. And so far, all the men that read the book said, it feels as if you're writing about me. Please get the women to read the book.
Why is it so important to them to get the women to read the book? Do they have a challenge with communication, or do you think communication is also a challenge in relationships, or do men really shut down? Because generally the understanding is that men have a problem with communicating from their heart at a heart level to women that they're intimate with, so-called intimate with.
They want to communicate. If I ask them what is the most important aspect of a relationship, they don't say intimacy. They say communication. Okay. But then I explained to them, I said, okay, now let's say you have a wife or a girlfriend, and you ask her what's wrong, because you can see something's wrong, and she goes, nothing. And they, oh yeah, I hate that. Why does she do that? I said, well, she does that because previously you asked her what's wrong, and she sat down next to you and she told you that you did something that she didn't like. And men would typically either defend themselves, no, but I didn't, or attack her, you're getting too emotional. So the moment she tried to communicate to you what her problem was, you attacked her or you defended. So next time you ask what is wrong, she's going to say nothing, because you didn't give her the chance. So I said, next time, please just keep quiet and let her tell you. And then it's the difference between being needy and communicating your needs. And then the men said, no, that's fine, they'll do it. And then they said, but then please, when she speaks to them, could her tone of voice, could she just please not attack him with her tone of voice? The weapon a man fears most is not a gun or a knife, it's a woman's tongue. That she can castrate him with her tongue. And that's where they are so sensitive. Especially, let's say, a man and just a female friend is driving. Okay, and he drives a different route, and she says, hey, why are you driving this route? He'll tell her, because this morning I heard there's an accident. Okay. The moment his wife says, why are you driving this route? He hears, listen, you stupid, dumb fool, you don't know where you're going.
Okay, so that's the way his brain decodes that.
Because in his mind, she's the queen. He crowned her his queen.
Okay.
And she should not question him. He's her total hero. He needs to be her hero. So the moment you use the word why, it means you don't know what you're doing. So that's quite interesting. We discussed in the book as well.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because some time back I was doing some research on relationships, and I came across the secret that most women don't know about men that will impact profoundly on their relationship, and that is treat him like a hero.
Yes, if you treat him like a hero. But I also say to the women, I said, how can you expect him to adore you if you're not being adorable? So if you get in touch with your inner goddess and you speak respectfully, and I don't mean that women should be in the kitchen, etc. It's just, there's a nice way of speaking to anybody. Asking him, would you please do this for me? He will. Now, if you are the goddess, he will willingly lay the flowers at your feet. Okay. But on the other hand, I tell the men as well, we can ask her to treat you as a hero, but if you're the lousy couch potato or whatever and you don't act as a hero, then please, if she asks you nicely to do something, please do it for her. Because the standard answer we get is, must I do it now? Then, because I'm busy with the computer. She's your wife. Yes, please do it now. If you can, please do it now. And that's the way. Be her hero. It makes them feel good. It's easy for a man in the beginning to meet a woman or for her to lure him. But what makes him stay? What makes him stay is he feels good in her company.
And what about vice versa? What about the woman feeling good in his company?
Yes, no, that's true. That's what I say. Act the hero.
Because generally,
act the hero. Yes.
Being a hero is one thing, but elevating yourself to God's status is another.
Completely.
And that can be totally. If you cross the line, then we're stepping into the area of patriarchy and chauvinism.
Definitely. There's a chapter on the book as well, which is about the rogues and the villains, but also the vixens. Okay, which I discussed a little bit of pathology, but not to the extent of the serial killers. I mean, that's a different book. Okay, but that is in it as well. And generally, the book has got case studies. It's about the journey of the hero.
Yeah.
Men are providers and protectors. So how do they provide? Why is money important to them? Okay, and the woman would often say, but I'm not really interested in your money, I want you. And to the man, the money is the way that he looks after, that he provides for her. In olden days, when men were warriors, it was their physical strength that they measured each other, that they benchmarked each other. Today, it's money. Okay. So it's through money he buys her stuff. He provides for her. Okay. That he feels proud. Why do men buy women jewelry? So that you can wear it in the house. No, other people must see. Yeah. So to him, it's important. Don't just tell him your money's not important. It's important to him. Just rather say, well, thank you for providing for me.
And this you've got from your research in working with men, that money is important to them?
It's very important. It's the way that they measure each other. Okay. And they don't always realize it's not that important to us. Women want to feel safe. That is a woman's key. And that's the secret of a woman. We want to feel safe, physically, emotionally, and financially.
Yeah.
If the basics are covered, we're cool.
Look, I'm very fascinated by your book and the website that you've created, which is a very unusual, innovative way of promoting the essence of this book. And I look forward to reading this book of yours because, we don't have the magic answers to our relationship challenges, but certainly by reading this, and certainly because you've worked with men, you've drawn from real life experience, there's so much of value in actually making an effort and reading it, because you can only grow and learn and expand in wisdom.
And I not necessarily agree with everything they say that's in the book, but that's what they say.
Fantastic.
So women might sometimes think, wow, well, That's what they say. Read it. You know, it's open for discussion. If you buy the book, you can participate. That's why it's an interactive book.
Yeah.
You can participate in the discussions and etc. And it's interesting.
I'm going to go ahead and get myself
Good.
a copy. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Nashina. Thank you.